Let's see if there is any problems. Handshaking. Doesn't seem so. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we can hear that clicking sound. It's trying to initialize the charging session. And then there we go, 19% stated charge. And then let's see what kind of speed we do get. Why is this so slow to start up? That's a bit weird. Come on, come on, come on. This is green. Strange. 0 kilowatts. Why are we getting 0 kilowatts? I tried the first charger again and yeah, no go. This is really weird. So 3 years ago, I took the then brand new Audi E-Tron S on my long trip test. Stopping at a new Kempower charging site, I connected to the charger, but for some reason, the charging session started, but at the same time, I got 0 kilowatts in speed. After trying several times, I had to give up and drive to another charging station. Since this day, I have charged at this Kempower charging location many more times and never experienced any issues. It has honestly been one of the most reliable charging stations I've ever used. I never got any word back from Audi why this car didn't want to charge at this charger this day. For years, this has been a mystery because from the car's perspective, the charging session was active and had started, but the speed was 0 kilowatts. Visiting my newest partner and sponsor here on the channel, Kempower in Finland, who manufactures some of the most advanced DC fast chargers on the market, I finally got an answer to this mystery.
My name is Juha Varkki. I work in R&D at Kempower. I'm a lead architect of software.
Okay, interesting. So you have a lot to do with the back end and the front end, or just the back end of the charging sites and
Yeah, I think there's a lot of software at Kempower. So we build our own software for the charging stations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of software there to make the screens, to make the power dynamics work and everything. We also have a cloud-based service that we call ChargeEye, a backend.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And it's really instrumental to what we do here.
So from this, what did you call it?
ChargeEye.
ChargeEye. So you can monitor charging stations across the whole world with this.
Yeah.
So if there's an issue with a car, for example, say there's a new car to market, you're connecting it to the charger and it won't start charging, you can on your end in real time see what the issue is. Is that true?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. That's right. Because we see everything that's happening with the hardware, also with the car's charging. There's a number of things that we use this data for. Obviously, we share it with our customers.
Yes.
These CPO networks, they get access to it.
Yes.
But we also use it in research and development, because we track, for example, the success rate of charging.
So that's when you're connecting the handshake?
Yeah.
So the success rate of connecting, handshake, and then start charging?
Exactly. There's many reasons why when you plug in the car, it may not start. Of course, it could be that you didn't pay. That's one reason, obviously. But there's many other reasons. Like.
So we talked about a little bit earlier off camera. A few years ago, I had an Audi E-Tron on loan, a brand new car from Audi, and it connected, and it said it was charging, but I got 0 kilowatts. And you actually have an answer for why that was, and I think that's an interesting story. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. This actually happened 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, when we were developing these products, we had just delivered the first ones, the first of these satellite systems to Norway, and obviously, we were looking, monitoring the situation there, how they were being used. Then we saw that increased error rate with some of the cars, and it was the original Audi E-Tron that had this exact issue. It would start to charge, but it would look like it would start.
Yeah,
to
it
charge.
looked like that. This is what I experienced exactly. So this is so interesting. We talked about this earlier, and you had an exact reason, because I never got a reason from Audi. Nobody told me anything, but I would connect, and it said it was connected.
Yeah.
All the lights were green. The indicator on the car was green, but I got 0 kilowatts, so no charge at all.
Exactly. We tried to troubleshoot that on
Yeah.
our own, but we couldn't find an issue and couldn't reproduce it here in Finland. We were able to get in touch with the Audi engineers.
Yeah,
Uh,
but this wasn't, so I can't imagine for anybody outside of a car manufacturer reaching the correct person, especially quick,
Yeah, we
probably
tried,
not easy.
We tried through the distributor, through
Yeah.
the sales channels. After a long while, we were finally able to get through to their
Yeah.
engineers in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we reached out with this problem. Didn't hear anything from them for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. But then it was a month or two after that, I received a phone call.
Yeah.
And it was an engineer from Audi telling us that now thanks for this report, and they found this issue. It's an issue with the charging controller, the firmware in the car.
So it was a problem with the charging controller on the car.
On the car, yes.
And you reported this like immediately, because you probably had customers around the
Of
world
course.
not having, so you got the data real time, and then you immediately tried to contact the correct person, and it took months for Audi to get back to you?
Yeah, so at that point they had fixed the issue, or
Okay.
we're just releasing the fix.
Ah.
And so they said that the next time the car goes to service, they will quietly update that.
Okay, so no OTAs for this problem on the Audi. It had to go into the workshop. So when people have their cars in for service or repair, Audi would go in, and then they would update the software via cable with the car.
Exactly. Then soon after, we saw in the metrics it was going up and everything is good again.
So, I mean, this is interesting. I mean, this is just one anecdote, one story, and of course, these are things that are probably going to happen again. I mean, the car industry, cars, and this whole EV adoption is quite advanced, and it's the first time we're doing this globally, so we're going to have issues like this. But what I think is super interesting is that, well, we have the charging station in Lego here in front of us, but you get real-time information from these to your cloud, and you can right away immediately see a problem, because you had another issue that you talked about, which was also with the car. That was a Ford Mustang Mach-E, right?
Yeah. So we have car manufacturers. Before they launch and really a car, or before they deliver them, they go out and test public charging sites to know that the cars charge and work. We had Ford testing the Mustang Mach-E. I believe this was in 2021.
Okay.
And the car wouldn't charge at one of the sites.
Okay.
Kempower sites. We could immediately see what the problem was. It was first of all really great that they contacted us.
Okay, so this time they contacted you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. We could see what the issue was. The issue was actually that the car was requesting a really high amperage.
Okay.
Up to 600 amps.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, the CCS standard, right, is limited to 500 amps.
Yeah.
So your chargers, because you're following the standard, is probably calibrated to that, right?
Yeah, it's part of this handshake.
Yeah, it's part of the handshake, yeah. This protocol communication, yeah.
Yeah, the vehicle is saying, this is the maximum that I'm able to do, 600 amps.
Yeah.
And our equipment, following the standard to the letter, said that, hey, this is not good, 500 is the limit.
Yeah.
And it didn't start charging.
So it didn't start charging. That's so interesting.
Yeah. Of course, we fixed it immediately and could update the charging stations.
So you, on this end, you were able to fix, because this wasn't a problem with the controller in the car. This was just the protocol communication.
Yeah.
The car was requesting and you're denying it because it's too high of an amperage, which is a safety feature.
Yeah.
I mean, because these cables here, these can go really hot, and that's why there's this limit on 400 volt architecture being 500 amps, because you're going to generate a lot of heat. You were able to work around this? How so?
Yeah, first of all, because we have these great tools, we can see exactly what's happening on the charging stations, you know, shine light to all of the internals. We were able to see the issue and have our developers fix the issue and push it out.
Wow, wow. That's really cool. That's really cool having that flexibility. So when I started charging at Kempower chargers a few years ago, I saw something very interesting on your screen that I still to this date haven't seen other manufacturers have, and that is a QR code with your camera, with your phone. You can scan and then you can monitor the charging session from wherever you are.
Yeah.
So this is why, is there a story behind this?
Yeah, it's a pretty unique feature, and it's how this came to be is quite interesting story. From the beginning, we've been driving EVs at Kempower because we knew that it's really important to have that perspective of the user.
Yeah.
And so actually one of our engineers was driving in this area and actually went to Lidl, the store, and they had a charger there.
Okay.
And he had this idea while at the shop that I would like to know how the car is charging.
Yeah.
And so he brought that idea to us, and we implemented it. It was actually, it started off kind of as a joke. Like we had this like internal demo. Like the whole company was really small. We could all fit in a one meeting room, and we had this internal tech demo.
Yeah.
And one of the technology demos was this QR code.
Yeah.
And then it just stuck, and now it's kind of the signature feature of Kempower.
And I think it's so great because, I mean, there are many ways to charge your car today, right? You have debit card where you can scan. That's going to be standard in a year or two. I think all new chargers from now or 2024 in Europe are going to have card payment.
Yes.
But you also have charging chips, like an RFID tag or card, and then you have apps. People using apps may be wondering, like, why is this feature even useful? I'm just going to use my app. And for a lot of CPOs, you can see the charging speed, you can see the charging time and the kilowatt hours and stuff like that, but not with everyone. But for everybody else, if you're just going to use your card or your RFID, you have no way to monitor the charging.
Yeah, it levels the playing field,
Yeah.
and it tells you a lot of details that would
Yeah.
otherwise be missing. And you get this nice charging graph even and everything.
As DC fast chargers are slowly becoming a part of our daily lives, what once seemed like a very unfamiliar and scary thing is now becoming an integral part of using our cars. When I started using DC fast chargers more than 3 years ago, when it came to the usability, there was much to be desired. Today, these new generation of DC fast chargers are more user-friendly than ever, and maybe more importantly, they are about 1,000,000 times more reliable. A huge part of this is due to companies and teams behind the chargers and the user experience who cares about charging, like the great folks at Kempower. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Juha at Kempower, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy them being one of my new sponsors and partners here on the channel. I'm super excited to be working with them, and there will be more videos from Kempower in Lahti and also in the future. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.